Hello and welcome to another episode of SOKY Nostalgia. I am one of your hosts, Matt.
Sir Bradley.
And I am Kat.
Welcome back, everybody. We've got an exciting show tonight. We've decided that we're going to do our most influential shows topic, which means, shows of TV shows, whether it was from our childhood up to today, that just has a big impact on our lives. I think that's going to be a really interesting topic. I don't know how long the podcast is going to be. It will be
longer than my
Ew.
Oh, so like 5 minutes?
Oh my god. That's not even okay,
What?
Yeah.
Inspired after those nasty jokes by the Jenna and Julian podcast. So thank you guys.
There'll be a link in the show notes for that too. So.
I'm sure they want to be, connected with that.
Jenna,
well, no, but at least the audience could,
Jenna, I'll take my
watch their video. It is a video link, so we'll have that out on the show notes.
Yeah, it's a video and a podcast. So.
Yeah. But I don't know how long this episode's going to be. It could be 30 minutes. It could be an hour. But we're going to see what we can get out of it, so it'll be fun. Yeah. All right, so let's get a little bit of business out of the way. How can you reach us? Well, we have a bunch of ways. We have emails. We have the studio email, deadpanstudio18@gmail.com. We also have it for the show itself called SOKY Nostalgia, SOKYNOSTALGIA @gmail.com. If you didn't get it, you can rewind this and listen to it again.
Yeah, just rewind.
Getting tired of having to respell nostalgia multiple times.
Straight up.
Yeah.
It'll also be in the show notes. So if you really can't spell that, you can copy it, paste it, whatever.
They're making fun of me because I forced him to
No, I'm not, because I have trouble with that word too.
Yeah.
So.
I still use spell check.
Yeah.
Honestly,
But, however, we do also have social media. We have Twitter and Facebook. Both of those will be at the same addresses, at SOKY Nostalgia and at Deadpan Studio 18. And we have a website. We also have a website called deadpan-studio.com. If you go to that, you can stream the episodes, read the show notes, find out some information about us. These lovely voices that you tend to hear week after week. And what was that?
I wasn't sorry. That was my purse.
Oh, sure.
Trying to move it.
Sure.
Yeah. You saw me move it.
I saw you,
Yeah.
But it's funnier.
It would have been funnier if it was a fart.
Blame it.
It would have been.
Fart.
I know,
I did that earlier. It's okay.
Okay. You did have Japanese food.
No, that was even
It's gassy
before
food,
that.
especially when you have the noodles. Mm-hmm.
That was even before that show.
Okay. So, again, those are the different ways in which you can reach us. So, cool. Cool, man.
So, yeah, we were looking for a topic, and I had just... I don't often watch the videos of the Jen and Julian podcast, because I like to listen to it while I'm doing stuff. And if I have to pause it and then, the screen goes black because it's a video, I have to go back and turn it all back on. But with the podcast, the screen can be black. Play, pause, doesn't matter. But I was like, hey, what about this? Because... they talked about... It's cool because they...
Talked about Jenna and Julian.
Jenna is older than Julian, how you're older than me. So there's a little bit of crossover with shows, but then there's also stuff he watched that, she was not the right age bracket for. SpongeBob was something he watched
I think she's calling you old, man.
I am.
And she was already a teenager when that came out, so she didn't really watch it.
We're just a few weeks apart, so you're calling me old now.
No, I'm older. You'll always be able to hold that over my head. But we also have different ways in which you can...
taller.
You are tall.
But before we get into the topic, we do have other ways in which you can stream this if you're not on the website. Of course, the website is the first and foremost places.
Boom.
Boom.
Oh, my God. It
works on your tablet, laptop, computer, or PC, as well as your phone. So you can go...
your phone. Everybody does these days. What the computer,
What's
man?
A PC?
Yeah, and it doesn't matter what sort of phone you have, you'll be able to stream it from there, as well as your most popular streaming apps, which include Spotify, TuneIn, Google Play, Stitcher, and iTunes. You just type in Deadpan Studio, 2 separate words. Deadpan's one word, Studio's another word.
Studio.
Yeah, just one studio.
Not O's.
No, not yet.
I'm glad you explained that because you were just telling someone that earlier and they thought you meant deadpan was 2.
No. Deadpan, one word, studio, singular word, also just one studio.
Singular, not plural.
If you search that, you will find our logo, which is a DPS, which stands for Deadpan Studio.
Because I go searching for Deadpan Studios.
And you can't find it.
And I can't find anything. I'm like, all right, what the going on here?
But if you do have trouble, you can go to the website, click on the link, and it will take you.
That's because I think on Facebook, Deadpan Studios with an S is like a photography thing or something. So
yeah, it's some sort of art studio, but
also like we're just
don't go to them. They suck.
So, they don't talk about it. They just paint.
Photography pictures. I think I don't know. I only saw the.
You like how she got all over me, and then she was like, "I think."
Well, because I was trying to find our page when we first made it to do some stuff, and I just saw that. I was like,
no, I don't think we can say that though, because I mean, great minds think alike. So
yeah. Oh, anyway.
So again, we have iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn, and Spotify. So look us up there and enjoy or hate, but either way, spread the word.
Enjoy or hate. And hate it and dislike.
All right.
I mean, that's what's going on. I mean, everybody hates everything now, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Damn, but everybody loves TV.
That would be her.
What?
Oh,
yeah.
Wow. No.
The background photo. Purdy.
Oh,
I'm showing off a background photo on my iPhone.
It's like 3 years old.
It is of the girlfriend, but she hasn't changed much. She's just beautiful.
I was blonde in that picture, but it's black and white, so you can't tell.
It's okay.
Also, there's sauce on my phone.
Yeah. All right. So, anyway, our topic for this evening are TV shows that have influenced
Is or
us.
are?
What is?
Our topic is or are?
Our topic is about TV shows that have influenced us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know the difference between your and your?
It depends on how you're looking at it.
I hate that, man. I see freaking teachers getting this wrong.
Yeah.
I'm like, the are you teaching these kids?
Not a damn thing.
Obviously.
All right, so we have the three of us. We have myself, the Matt, Sir Bradley, and Kat. Now, how do we want to go about this? Do we just want to start? Who wants to go first? Like in class, who wants to go first?
No, I don't like sloppy seconds. I tell you that right now.
He likes to be the sloppy first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, when you're the first, you're the best.
If you're not first, you're last.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I didn't really have time. None of us really had time to write down a bunch of stuff. But I mean, we all
I did at lunch.
No, well, believe you.
I
was busy as hell at work, so I didn't have time to do.
That's okay. I wrote down.
We had some things some orders that didn't get done, so we had to do them, and then I had to vacuum when it was not my day to vacuum.
Well, see, this is my anal retentiveness. Is that
is that the right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Is that I have to be organized.
Y'all can talk about that later off air.
My parents might listen to this.
I've noticed that anytime anybody ever brings up,
ass play.
Yeah, butt love, Mr. Bruce Lee in the poster kind of follows me.
Now we have to post a picture of that poster. So
I will post a picture of the poster. It'll be with the show notes.
I posted that poster.
No, not that one.
Staring
that
at you.
one.
Oh,
that one.
wait, that one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, the
one where he's
one?
screaming.
The warped one where
The
he's
warped one?
Yeah.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
Dragon drawer.
He's just kind of following me. Yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
That's your fault.
But no, I like everything else that I do with the studio and stuff I do in my life. I like to be a little more organized, and I took a few minutes at lunch, and I came up with 5 shows that I felt were influential to me, and 6 alternates.
God, really? I gave you a softball, man.
I missed it.
I said, surely not.
Don't call me Shirley.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Golly, man.
I'm a little slow today.
Obviously.
Yeah.
I guess that's
more than most days.
Special ed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mama dropped him on his head.
Okay. See, the audience hasn't been listening to the same things that we've been listening
Before
to.
You can't just
so.
say special ed with no context.
Yeah.
Well, before we hit record, they need to listen to this. Before we
plugging
hit
more
record,
people that aren't us, go listen to that
Of
instead.
course. That's how they know that we're cool.
Okay, just tell them who we were listening to.
We were listening and watching videos for a musician / comedian named Stephen Lynch. If you have not heard of him or any of his work, please check him out. He's a little raw.
Just a little.
Now, anybody who's listened to this podcast knows that sometimes I tend to go to the dark place. Well, he lives in it. He writes his music in the dark place.
He lives in it and he plays the guitar.
Yes, and he has the voice of an angel and the mouth of a sailor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
That's
so check him out, Stephen Lynch. YouTube it, whatever. I may put up a link on the show notes. Just
he was my face. Golly, I can't talk. He was my first favorite comedian.
Nice.
So yeah,
mine was Richard Pryor, and that's sad. How
Well, I mean, he's good too.
Oh yeah,
very good.
An idea. Maybe. I know this is like influential. TV shows, but maybe we can also mention some we didn't like growing up, we didn't want to watch.
Oh, there's some there.
I got one, and y'all know what it is.
Yes. Well.
Also, Red Shoe Diaries.
Yeah.
I was also thinking, even though I didn't have time to write anything down, I was kind of thinking while I was working, because it doesn't take a lot of brain power to do what I do.
Yeah.
That's why I like listening to podcasts and stuff, because hands-free.
Don't sell yourself short. Don't sell yourself short.
No, don't do that.
You can accomplish anything you set your mind to.
Okay. Anyways, I was thinking of something else. Well, maybe this was just me, but we could also mention maybe shows we kind of secretly watched. There was a couple
guilty pleasures.
Yeah. Well, there was a couple on Adult Swim that really aren't that bad at all now that I would sneak and watch, Inuyasha. Oh my god, that show. I'm collecting the manga right now.
Nice.
But I snuck that show.
Yeah, we could go around giving a guilty pleasure. Okay, so you said Inuyasha.
That wasn't even really guilty pleasure. That was me being secretive.
So Inuyasha for you. For guilty pleasure for me.
Also Futurama.
Oh, Futurama. I'll say. I'm gonna admit this. Oh God, I can't believe I'm gonna admit this, and it's gonna be for posterity purposes only. The original Beverly Hills 90210.
Oh God! Watched that.
Just now, to be fair, at that time when that show was out, I was a hormone-fueled teenager.
Were you sneaking it or? Just...
Yes, I was sneak watching it.
Yeah,
that because the girls on there were gorgeous.
Oh, Brenda.
No,
I didn't. No, I didn't really have a thing for Brenda.
No, I tell you what, I followed that show when Tiffany Amber Thiessen went on there.
I have no idea who that is.
She played Kelly Kapowski on Saved by the Bell.
I have no idea who that is.
Yeah, but yeah, I
did not watch Saved by the Bell.
That was my main guilty pleasure, and I still feel guilty saying that out loud.
Oh,
so what about you, Sir Bradley?
Well, see, actually, I didn't even think of anything until you just said what you said with the 90210.
Secret show.
I really don't. Dawson's Creek.
Okay, now look.
Did we watch some of that? You and me?
Yeah.
I'd like to actually watch more because I want to know what happens.
To be fair, now no male will ever really admit it, but the truth about Dawson's Creek is most men watched it because they wanted to get dates. If you could talk to a girl about Dawson's Creek all night, you could have a date and a second date and a third date. That's the truth. Oh, I know somebody's honking.
Sorry, I just heard
horn blows. Does the driver
honking their horn like an asshole? Yeah, there's this street, and people are always honking at each other like idiots.
So you said Inuyasha,
yeah,
and
Futurama. I didn't really watch.
Futurama's a great show.
Yeah, I didn't really watch. I'm trying to remember if I watched Family Guy around that same time,
okay,
or if that was later.
Now hold on. When you're saying Futurama and Inuyasha, were you saying that was because you were watching it so that your parents wouldn't find out?
Yeah,
or you're embarrassed about it?
No. I fully admit my love for both of those shows.
Okay. Well, then
what about the DVDs and the merch?
What about a show that you were embarrassed to admit that you watched?
None of them.
Dawson's Creek.
No, I don't have a show I was first to watch. No, the reason
I got late with that teacher.
Well, the reason I had to sneak those shows is because I was maybe
spoilers.
yeah. 20 years ago, yeah.
Maybe 13, 14, 15. And those shows were on Adult Swim because they did have more adult language and humor. So I would watch, I was allowed to watch Cartoon Network. as much as I, wanted up until
Yeah.
like 10, 11, whenever Adult Swim started. There was the whole like Adult Swim, and they'd have like a trailer, blah blah blah, and like I'd be like, "Oh, is my parents asleep? Is Inuyasha on? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna watch Inuyasha."
See, normally as teenagers, we said the same thing, but it had absolutely nothing to do with some sort of animated feature. Are the parents asleep? Is it 10:30?
Well, not necessarily. I had to wait, and I had to, plan this out, for Beavis and Butthead.
Oh, I did too. I tell you what. Okay.
Still have no interest in that show whatsoever.
Oh God.
No.
It's amazing.
My love for Beavis and Butthead started. It was one I'd never watched it before, but one night I snuck and watched it because parents were so anti.
What channel was that on? Was that
MTV.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I never watched it. I didn't watch MVT growing
where
up.
TV shows are supposed to be played.
I don't even know if I
music
had
television.
So
I maybe did.
Parents were so anti Beavis and Butthead because of the content of it.
And one of the characters is named Butthead.
Whoa.
Oh my God.
So I can remember laying in the spare bedroom watching TV, and I used to sleep in there, periodically because I used to be in my bedroom. And I remember watching Beavis and Butthead, and I don't know why, but when Butthead called Beavis a fart knocker, I laughed till I vomited.
Oh my God.
I had never heard that word before.
I vomited. You laughed.
He said,
I hadn't heard of most of those words either.
He said, "Shut up, fart knocker." And I lost it. I fell out of the bed. I kept laughing, and I laughed till I literally vomited.
Laughing.
Turd burglar.
Turd burglar, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
I'm laughing at
it
your
was
story,
definitely
not
a
the
lot.
show, but-
Now, is going to Dawson's Creek. I don't.
Wait, did you have to secretly clean up the vomit? Otherwise, you'd have to
No,
explain.
I know. I went to the bathroom because I started feeling nauseated.
Oh, okay. I thought you
Yeah.
meant like you did it in the room. So
no,
okay,
no.
you
I
got
started
away.
feeling nauseated, and I ran to the bathroom.
So
and
you got away
vomited.
with it.
Well, yeah.
Your mom just probably just thought you were losing.
No, they
your
were
mind.
asleep on the. My mom and dad were asleep on the couch. They were out. To the
They
world.
had a dream of a child cackling, and then
No, my mom started sleeping really hard when my dad started watching the news 24/7. So,
I mean, that's fair.
yeah. So, and now, if anybody touched the remote or changed the channel and he was in dead asleep, he would go, I was watching that.
No, you weren't.
No, you weren't. You were asleep, old man. Rest his soul. I love that man. Anyway, so you were saying, Brad?
About
Dawson?
Yeah.
Leary?
Yeah. Was that his last
Dawson
name?
Leary, yeah.
Leary. Okay, yeah, it's ringing a bell now. Yeah. But I don't know. I guess it was probably just the age, that we were whenever that came out.
Yeah.
That I'm like, man, this is relatable. But I thought, okay, real people don't talk like that. the kind of the language and the vocabulary.
Yeah, they were a little more. They were speaking with post-college education, even though they were only in high school.
Yeah. Were they sophomores or something like that? Maybe.
I think they started as freshmen because they hadn't started to drive yet.
So does the show?
Anyway, that's why.
Does the show like follow them?
I
through
am
high school?
admitting knowing so much about this show right now. That is why Joey and Dawson would always take their little canoe and, what do you call it? Canoe back and forth, I guess.
Paddle? Canoe?
Yeah, paddle.
Canoe.
Back and forth to each other's houses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
I just think I don't really like canoes, but if I had a kayak, that'd be kind of fun.
My butt is puckering so much admitting some of this stuff right now.
it made me feel ignorant.
Yeah.
Because of the vocabulary.
Why do you think
that they were
Pacey got
using
with an
there.
older woman?
I don't know, but he was lucky.
His vocabulary.
She was sultry.
I like Dawson's mom. I don't remember, who the actress was or anything, but
I'll admit what got me into watching the show was Dawson's dad. He's played by on The Flash. For those that watch The Flash.
That's exactly what I remembered him from.
His dad, the one that was in jail.
Oh.
Yeah.
The original,
We
original
watch
Flash.
More, 'cause I can't really picture any of the characters' faces because we didn't watch very much. But
We watched a lot. It's just been a long time.
Well, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a lot. We still didn't finish it though, but
That's okay.
I only got through like maybe the second season.
It gets better.
It wasn't that. It was because it like changed days that it aired, and I couldn't make it to those days or something.
Mess you up.
Well, if you want a TV show to mess you up like
Before
that,
the days of
Supernatural.
streaming services and DVRs.
I've not got into that. So.
Supernatural was great for the first 5 seasons.
Good job joking.
And I'll tell you why. I still got all that drainage and stuff. Anyway,
I'm sorry.
the first 5 seasons was the original storyline that the creator, the writer, Eric Kripke, had in mind for the show. But that was supposed to be it. It was supposed to end right then, no matter what the ratings
here we are,
were.
10 more later.
But the audience, the ratings were just through the roof.
We want more hot guys chasing demons.
Well, there you go. And the ratings were so high that they were making too much money to say goodbye. So Eric Kripke goes, all right, cool. If you want to keep it going, go ahead. Just keep my name attached to it. And he came in and directed a few episodes and stuff like that.
I mean, when you already got the cast that knows what they're doing, you got the popularity, you got the money, and then you got so many more, like, spooky, demonic, ghosts, monster things that you can explore. Like, why the not?
So that's how that show. And like I said, the first 5 was really good. But, after that, it was okay. Season 9, I feel like they started jumping the shark.
I can't remember.
It wasn't because it was like season 7 when they brought in Castiel, the angel, which is great.
I want to pause you because I want to see if she knows what jumping the shark is.
Oh, that's a nostalgia
because
term.
that's old.
Yeah.
From like wow, you guys are staring at me.
Well, it's because we're.
You know what it is,
Is it
right?
from?
Absolutely.
Okay, give me a hint. Is it from?
It was from A Happier Time.
It was from the 70s.
When was that?
Yeah.
I don't think every.
From the 70s.
Yes, it was from the 70s, and it had Ron Howard in it.
So it's a movie?
No.
No.
A show?
Yes, it was a show.
TV show. From the 70s.
Yes.
Happy Days.
Yeah.
The Fonz.
The Fonz. The show had went on so long that the ratings started to plummet after a certain episode. And it was literally about the Fonz.
I watched that show, but it's been
The Fonz was he a lot of times in his downtime he was a stunt person, so he decided
like the actor in real life he would do.
No,
No.
in the show.
Oh,
like
okay.
the character.
I don't remember that. I know who
Mr. Henry
Fonz
Winkler,
is.
and I mean no joke.
So in the show he was
he took his he was on what skis and
water skis
and a speedboat.
His leather jacket on.
With his leather jacket on.
God.
And he took a speedboat up a ramp and jumped sharks. And right after that episode is when the ratings started to plummet. It lasted another
season? Because it was so outrageously
so?
stupid and beyond anything they had done.
They ran out of ideas. So, I mean, they were literally throwing everything they could at the show. And after that, I think it lasted maybe another full season, and then they canceled. Because the ratings were so bad. So that's where the term jumping the shark comes. If you hear somebody say, that show just jumped the shark, that's what it's referencing, and that means it's probably going to get canceled.
It's all going downhill from here.
Unless you're Supernatural and you're still pulling, right now they're pulling some awful ratings, but they've already been renewed for another season.
Sounds like The Walking Dead.
The fans won't let it die.
300 episodes plus.
I mean,
that was their goal. At the beginning of last season, they said, if we don't make it past, if we don't get another few seasons out of this, if we can just make it to 300, I mean, that's a milestone.
We're
happy.
Bunch of episodes.
We are happy. We're done. And they're halfway through this season now with episode 300. So if they had canceled it after that episode, they would have been happy. But they went ahead and renewed it for one more.
I mean,
it's going to go to 16.
People want to watch it. I mean,
now you have to wonder if the next milestone is going to be season 20. Honestly, I kind of do just because of my anal retentiveness.
Who do they think they are? The Simpsons?
Yeah. Just because of my anal retentiveness, I want them to hit 20. I want them to do 20 seasons and then that be it. I don't want them to do 16, 17, 18, 19 because that just messes with me. So, anyway, how about we take this moment and we'll just do a quick plug. We're not going to do an ad because we're going to record some new ads at some point.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. I've done some, and it's just never been used.
Well, I was going to start using them next season.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So
only recorded that what, 4 months ago?
But they will get used. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and do a quick plug. Key Dry Cleaners. Key Dry Cleaners is located at 401 Happy Valley Road. It is open Monday through Saturday. Monday through Friday, it is open from 8 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. to 5:30.
Okay, hold on. You're messing this up.
Yes, I am.
All right. Key Dry Cleaners, open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 5:30. Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. We do drapes, comforters, shirts, dresses. We have a seamstress who can alter whatever you need. So come on down. Bring your get it cleaned. Even if it has, that on it. We'll handle it for you.
Awesome. Look at that.
There you go.
Man, blew you out of the water.
Well, yeah, because...
There's a Facebook page, Key Dry Cleaners. Like it, follow it, leave a nice comment. And
or
also... or 3. We're also on Google. We've claimed the business name on Google, so if you want to leave us a nice rating and bump up our rating on there. There's only 4... There's only 4 reviews. There's only 4 reviews. Some of them aren't so kind, but we have so many more people that come in. So you younger generation, you like your technology like me, leave a review. Be nice.
Got to come in first, though. So yeah.
Good job. Outstanding. Well, I like
Oscar award-winning performance right there.
I've had this information burned into my memory
Well,
forever.
see, here's the thing. I recorded them, and then I just started playing the recordings, so I got out of the habit of saying them. So,
well,
anyway.
I mean, there's others that do that. Some of you
Surely not.
Don't call me Shirley.
All right, so now we're back into our main topic now that we've actually gone through some, guilty pleasure TV shows. Now, these are actually going to be TV shows that influenced us, still influence us, and why.
I would still watch them. Yes.
Who wants to go first on this one? If nobody else wants to go, I'll go. I don't care.
Well, I can kind of talk about. Do you want first, or do you want?
No, because mine's the best, and so it should go last.
So? Okay.
Well, I mean, I figure we'll go around. We're not going to go through the whole list of each person, just so we can keep things moving.
No,
Well,
I'm really
I'm
just
not- I
talking
don't-
about one.
I don't have a big spiel or anything about each one. I was just going to mention like shows I watched growing up.
Okay.
But let's see. I guess first I'll mention the channels that I watched. I watched Disney Channel,
Uh-huh.
Cartoon Network, Nickelodeon, and Animal Planet.
Wow, the completely different channels than I watched.
No, I just have like this vivid memory of like a couple places I lived. Those channels were like the same numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So like I had memorized those 4 numbers.
Yeah.
So, I would just be like, okay, I'm going to go to, I keep saying Food Network because I watch Food Network now, but Cartoon Network. Now I'm going to go to Animal Planet, and I would have like the numbers memorized. But I guess I can start with Animal Planet because I'm sure I watched a bunch of shows on there, but the 2 that were the most influential,
Oh, Crocodile.
Crocodile Hunter and Jeff Corwin.
Yes.
Or rest in peace, Steve
Yes,
Irwin. I'm still
yes.
no, like I'm still like
Loved
I'm actually
him.
still sad, like
Me
so
too.
sad. I follow
too.
like his family and stuff on Facebook and Twitter. They're like really awesome. His daughter is so beautiful. His
Is.
son looks just like him. Holy crap!
And they have both followed in his footsteps.
Yes,
so.
absolutely. Like it's like oh my gosh.
And we can't forget about Steve's wife either, who's done an amazing job.
She
keeping
is
everything
an
that
amazing
Steve has
woman.
done, and the stuff that she created in Steve's name has been amazing. She has been such a strong force
Yeah.
in that
Yeah.
type of lifestyle.
But I remember,
Oh man, she's so strong.
I remember. I can't remember like exactly what like the times were, but I think it was. I guess it was like Jeff Corwin and then the Crocodile Hunter or something. But I remember Jeff Corwin. He's still alive. He's still awesome. I'd love to meet him one day. But like I would finish dinner and be like, okay, you have to finish dinner. Like get your dishes in the sink, and then you can go watch Jeff Corwin. So I would like, whatever I was having, I'd be like, start at a normal pace and be like, oh, it's getting time. Got like 5 minutes. I'm like, okay.
Gotta hurry this out.
Get the dishes and run to the living room, sit down, turn it on. Because I was like so excited. And I have to say they both had like slightly different approaches to animals
Right.
and stuff. But they both really influenced me in a positive way. for
Crikey!
animals. Yeah. So, yeah. So
was so
maybe
damn adorable.
maybe Steve Irwin did put on a
What, him or me?
Her.
Oh, well,
maybe Steve did put on a bit of a character for the show, but like it got people to give a shit about
I don't think it was as
Yeah,
much
it
a
did.
character. I think that was just an extension of his personality.
Yeah. Well, I saw some
He was-
Australian people commenting on some stuff recently and being like he was kind of embarrassing, but I'm like, okay, who cares if he was playing it up? The point was, hey, give a shit about animals, don't just kill them, care about the environment, like care about something.
Yeah.
It's directly at my face. What do you want me to do
Well,
with
it's
the mic?
kind of off at an angle, and
I
it's
can't
losing
see.
your voice
It's
sometimes.
fuzzy. How can this not be picking up my voice right now?
If you put your nose in it?
I can. It's
Yeah.
literally half an inch. Does that really make that much of a difference?
Actually, yeah, it does.
Okay.
Seriously.
Well, it's like literally. Okay.
I remember when, whenever his passing was kind of like, for me anyway, it was kind of like one of the first big celebrities, like, oh, what the man?
Yeah.
Him? No, I liked him.
Yeah.
He was cool. He was kind of the first celebrity that, I mean, we've had a lot of celebrity deaths, over the past few years.
Yeah.
But whenever he went, it was like, man, really, what the you
It
know?
was, honestly, it was like a worldwide mourning.
Yeah, it was.
It was.
It was.
Because I didn't watch too many live action things to get attached to like a person's face until I was a bit older. So he was like a real, like a person
Yeah.
that passed. And, I was like, I don't know how I was getting this information, but, I was getting, he'd got, stung
Stung
by
in the chest by a stingray.
Stung
yeah.
by the stingray. And
the
then like
barbs.
this, as the news went on, it went to him passing. I was just like, holy like,
It's bad, but it was a little morbid. But I've seen the video before the attorneys for the family, took him and got him off the internet. I was able. It only lasted a couple weeks that
Yeah.
it was out there before the attorneys could get him off. But I've seen the video of him getting stung, and I tell you what, you can't see anything until you see the
barb.
color, coming out in the water.
yeah. I don't really remember. I guess I blocked that part out, but I do have like a memory of seeing like them pulling him onto a boat.
Yeah.
But I don't.
See, I never saw anything. So
Probably still can, which I mean is fine. But
probably some way of viewing that. I don't really have a desire to, but
No.
yeah.
Well,
But-
it's, back then, how old was I? Well, I can't remember
I
what
don't
year it
remember,
was.
like-
We were probably,
Early 20s.
excuse me.
if that.
It's probably been 15 years or so since.
Yeah, it's been a while. I mean, yeah, because Robert, his son, was like he wasn't a baby, but he was like 1 or 2, maybe 3.
I was thinking like late
But-
90s, early.
Something
Yeah,
like that.
or
Early
something like
2000.
that. Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, back then, some of that stuff was just, when you're young, you have that morbid curiosity, which, probably if I'd been watching a little bit more, not blaming my parents at all, but if I'd been monitored a little bit more, not trusted as much as I was,
How dare
I
they
probably
give you
would have
trust.
avoided. Yeah, I was a good kid. I just,
I
when
still
you
don't
see something
remember
like it
how
come
I
on the
saw
internet,
the
you're kind
video.
of like, maybe, yeah, click.
Maybe it was on the internet
Yeah.
because I was like, I didn't do too much on the internet,
Yeah.
but I was like on a couple things.
There wasn't
so
a lot
maybe-
of. There wasn't a lot of.
Well, yeah, there wasn't.
streaming video.
There wasn't a lot to do in the early days, anyway.
Dial up, man. Dial up.
Yeah, tell me about no, like actually dial up. Holy
So,
shit.
Wait, you know what the that is?
Yeah, I know what VHS is on cassette. tapes are.
VHS?
do you know-
Cassettes?
I would record. Okay, when I was like at a sleepaway or Girl Scout camp or something, and a new episode of Jeff
I like those
Corwin,
thoughts, right?
or like a new episode of a show I wanted to watch, I would get like Aldi's. We shopped at Aldi's a lot. They would have VHSs by the cash registers for some reason, and I would be like, "Oh, I'm gonna be away. Can you like be sure to record it? It starts at this time. It goes to goes
Oh,
to
I bet
the
she doesn't know what Laserdisc are.
No. Betamax.
Stop okay, this isn't the quiz cat about old shits thing. This is TV shows, so can we
Okay.
get back on topic?
A lot of people.
I'd love to get back on.
Eventually, your lifetime. Within your lifetime, you'll hear a lot of people talk about how great Betamax was. What that was a different type of cassette that came out before VHS,
Well,
and
I'm not that old, so
well, it just had better quality. It just was a little more
You mean not
expensive.
that young?
It was a little more expensive to produce because it was made just a little bit different, and you had these
that's
Betamax.
probably why I
players.
just got VHSs at Aldi's.
Yeah. So,
Buy the cash register in a pack of 3.
so we got one from you so far. I want to go through my honorable mentions.
Okay.
Sure.
Home Improvement.
Oh yeah, I watched that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Batman the Animated Series.
Did not watch that.
I didn't, but actually, I enjoy it now.
Yeah.
So
I watched Home Improvement like more with my parents, not
Yeah.
really by myself.
Yeah. Quantum Leap.
Oh my god, yes.
oh, fucking amazing.
We didn't. I don't think we
And,
watched it on TV, but we have a few seasons on DVD.
Yeah.
And we'd be like, okay, which one are we on? And we'd like eat dinner.
Oh, it's great.
Well, I know
Watch
Alan
it.
would be huge on this one.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I did too, but
Yeah, but Quantum Leap was great.
I was like, is he ever gonna get home?
yeah.
Spoilers. No. It even said it in the very last scene was Sam never made it home.
I know, it's so sad because every time I'm like,
Well,
oh my
you know.
god.
Bullshit.
I have 6 total, so that was 3. Number
It was
4.
funny when he got sent to like a woman's body. And
Oh,
he
yeah.
had to
I love
pretend to be a
those.
girl.
Yeah. Well, my favorite was the rock star one. Yeah. Number 4, Saved by the Bell. The
not
original,
watch
not the college years, not the stuff that came after.
I didn't watch
the
I
any
original.
like
of
the
it.
college years,
Oh, I
but
did too. I'm just in regards to
but yeah,
this.
definitely the high
was
school was
more into
was the better.
animated.
Yeah, because the college
that
years
was-
only lasted 1 season. Saved
Yeah.
by the Bell lasted from 89 to 93.
Now the new
Well, good for
class.
them.
Oh god, that was terrible.
Yeah. G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero.
Nope.
Not the modern versions. This is the original cartoon that came out in the 80s from 83 to 86. I know that was, I would have been 1 when it came out, but, these were syndicated, so I watched
Yeah.
it over and over and over.
A lot of them.
And
a lot
I
of
was
them were back then.
and I was actually old enough in 87 when they came out with the G.I. Joe movie, which was, I love it. And then, check this out. You're going to like this. This is completely out of left field. Headbangers Ball.
I have no.
yeah, I actually have no clue what you're talking about.
Headbangers Ball?
No.
Okay.
No. Who-
Okay, check this out.
Say the name of that and what the.
Headbangers Ball. It went from 1987 to 1995, and for half the time, it was hosted by a guy named Ricky Ratman, and he ran a club in L.A. He was picked up by MTV because he was friends with most of the musicians that went through the L.A. Sunset Strip area.
Okay.
And basically, Headbangers Ball was like late night talk show, but you would have all your greats on there. You'd have Whitesnake, you'd have
so
Ozzy, you'd have also it was just
Like a musical entertainment show.
musical
not like-
entertainment, heavy metal.
Oh.
Yeah, I watched.
I would
that.
never. I would not have watched that
When
one.
I was able to understand that there were other channels outside of your basic like MTV, I found Headbangers Ball and I was hooked because that's the music I grew up on. I grew up
That's
on Motley
not the music I grew
Crue,
up on.
Poison, Whitesnake, Ozzy, Dio. I mean Metallica. You name it. That's the music I was raised on.
Yeah.
So Headbangers Ball was just that was my Graceland on TV.
Well.
So, but that was an honorable mention because more so than the show, the music was what was more influential to me than the show.
Yeah.
That's why it's an honorable mention as opposed to the actual show.
We could do one about music later.
Yeah.
In the future.
But since you did one, I'll go ahead and do one. I'm going to start with a show that was ran from 1987 to 1996.
Wait, can I say something real quick?
Yes.
So I realized something. So I was a child.
Don't say what it is because I got to guess.
So I was a child in the 90s / early 2000s, preteen, teen in the 2000s. But it's funny because I didn't watch really any 80s animated shows.
Mm-hmm.
I watched, what was the more current stuff for the 90s and 2000s, but I would also watch older stuff like
Oh, that's when they
Bugs
started
Bunny
getting sh-
and stuff. So it's kind of like I didn't have any of the 80s stuff, only 90s and 2000s, but then I'd also watch Tweety Bird and Bugs Bunny.
Classics, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the classic stuff. So it just struck me as kind of funny that
Looney Tunes.
yeah, Looney Tunes. Yeah. Like how none of the 80s stuff transferred into me watching it, at least none that I realized, But I would watch really old stuff and then the current stuff for.
No, I get it because a lot of the stuff that influenced me was on syndication when I was growing up.
Yeah.
Which one of them, I'm not going to mention it yet because it came out, I was like 1 or 2. So anyway, okay, you were going to try to guess what this was, Brad. So
You
it
said
ran
from 87 to 96?
87 to 96 for 10 full seasons and 193 episodes.
Animated or live action?
Animated.
Turtles.
Yes.
Yeah!
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the original cartoon, the first animated version of the Turtles after the comics.
10 seasons?
10 seasons from 87
I don't
to
think
96.
any of the currents...
To be honest, I thought it was 9, but...
Well,
Yeah.
I don't think any of the
I didn't look
currents,
this
like,
up.
styles of the past few years have lasted
I think the
nearly that long.
last season comprised of like a few like longer episode movie type things too, but they still
Sort of
count
like a longer farewell to the...
It was so it was not as gritty as the comics. It was brighter, more colorful, and the cool thing was that the likenesses and attitudes of the Ninja Turtles and all the characters on there led to films in the 90s, which I still love the original Ninja Turtles from the 90s. 2 was okay. The Secret of the Ooze. 3, when they went back to feudal Japan, was really great.
Whoa, what? You're like the only one that thinks that, though.
Yeah, I know. I'm okay with it.
I mean, it was Turtles, so I liked it.
Yeah.
So,
but they kept much of the same attitudes, likenesses, and stuff like that in those films. So,
and I was a big Ernie Reyes Jr. fan.
yes. Oh, Ernie Reyes is great, man.
Yeah.
Surf Ninjas.
Surf Ninjas.
Yes. But do you know who the voice of the Shredder was, babe?
Yes.
I feel like I've seen this information out in the world, but I can't remember right now.
Brad, do you know?
Yes, I know.
Who was it?
You don't want to tease anybody on this?
Just tell us.
James Avery.
Yes. And those that don't recognize that name, that was Uncle Phil from The Fresh Prince.
Oh, wait, yeah.
He was he done a lot of
He really did.
That's one of those random things you see.
yeah, he done
and
a
you're
lot
like,
of animated voice work.
Yeah. He's a great
He was
voice actor.
also in Rambo: The Force of
Yes.
Freedom cartoon.
Yes, he was.
Yeah,
he was.
dropping some knowledge on you.
That's
yeah.
right.
I'd seen that little tidbit. It's one of those things you like see and you're like, oh, that's an interesting fact, and then you forget, but then you remember like seeing it.
Yeah.
Not enough to actually like bring it to the forefront. So yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I remember that.
All right, so we've named a couple. What about you, Brett?
Oh, well, you mentioned one that was what you said was started when you were like 1 year old.
Yeah,
You've not talked about that yet, have you?
not yet.
Not yet.
But I guarantee you, if it's what I'm thinking, it's on the list. This is not in any specific order, except that one I saved the best for last.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's also animated, is it not?
Yes,
yeah.
Yes, it is.
Oh, for f***'s sake.
Do you have the
It's
answer,
the
Brad?
tease. It's the tease. It's tattooed on my f***ing back. Yes,
Yeah.
it's He-Man.
He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
Oh,
Yes.
I should have guessed that.
A horrible movie.
Well, it's not their fault. They ran out of money.
No, it's not. I don't know the guy's last name, but Frank, the guy who played
Frank
Skeletor.
Langella.
Yes, amazing. Knocked it out of the park.
Oh wait, you got to meet the voice of Skeletor.
Yes, I
remember?
did. Yes,
I
I
made
got
you
the
hug him
original
even though
voice-
you were like
original,
freaking out.
Yeah, I met him at
was-
Lexington Comic and
Yeah.
Toy Con.
But yeah, the voice of Skeletor,
Yeah.
Alan Oppenheimer.
No, Alan Oppenheimer. Yeah.
Oppenheimer. Oh yeah, that's,
He was a famous voice actor too.
Yes, he was. He did a lot.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
I tell you what, when I first, he actually brought me to tears. I'd be the first to admit.
Yeah.
When I met him, she was pushing me. I was nervous. You know, this is my life.
You want
my
to hear
childhood.
You want to hear something sweet though? You gave me. It was for my birthday. Like this was my birth month that we were doing this, and you gave me an option of two different ones. One had like a couple voices of Disney princesses, and then this one, which still had a lot of cool people, but then had the voice of Skeletor. And even though it was for my birthday, I was like, I can't let you pass this opportunity up to meet
And
this guy.
Adrian
So
Curry, who
Now,
I was probably like the
which one was it that you were meeting? Was it Alan or
Alan
or-
Oppenheimer.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. But I'm sorry. That was like what the last one that you had on your list because
well,
It
it
was
wasn't
on
in
the
a certain
list.
order, but I was going to save it for last.
yeah. Okay. Sorry, I all over that, didn't I?
had to like the same show.
No, I mean, I probably would have said Turtles.
Okay, he was one of the voices of the Turtles.
Okay.
Oh, you were
Okay.
still thinking about that.
So yeah, Turtles, He-Man. Obviously, if I got it tattooed on my back, yeah,
I mean-
it must be.
I hope you would like something if you get it tattooed on you.
Yeah. I mean, those were things that I was going to mention, and earlier.
Well, I thought forever to get the He-Man symbol tattooed on me somewhere, but unfortunately, the neo Nazis have taken it as their own because it's the Iron Cross. So,
Oh man,
unfortunately, yeah.
they keep taking symbols. They can't even make up their own.
Okay, the okay symbol.
Oh, for sake. Okay,
Yeah.
that's
Anyway.
a different thing.
But yeah.
We could talk about that. That's
Well, since we're on Masters of the Universe, so I just some information off the top of my head I wrote down for it.
You and your notes.
I know.
I would have had notes, but I don't need them tonight.
I mean, I'm just waiting to mention like the other shows I liked. And then
Yes, it was from 1983 to 84. I was born in 82, so
Yeah, it was surprisingly very short-lived.
that's like a lot of these things that were so influential to me were on syndication when I watched them. That's how it became. Instead of Saturday morning cartoons, it became before school cartoons.
Now, yeah. Do you remember Ghostbusters 2?
Yes,
Okay. Do you know what year that came out? It was late 80s?
it was 1991.
91? It was that late? Wow.
that's when I was born.
In the very early scenes in that movie, the Ghostbusters are doing a kid's birthday party. They're going, wow, I wanted He-Man, blah, blah. Okay, well, that's how long He-Man stuck around.
Yeah.
I mean, even though it was
89.
a very...
I was a couple of years off. 89.
Very short-lived cartoon, but the staying power that had in pop culture was amazing.
It still does today. I mean, you still there's video games. They keep reviving the TV show. They've got a movie that goes into production in a couple of months.
I was
Using
getting
the
ready to...
characters in commercials and stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
And they've got comic books. They've got toys. You name it, they've got it. And if anybody has any idea of how to find the original glow-in-the-dark He-Man sword, please send me an email. I want one.
like seriously.
Hey, recently I just joined I don't know, Toys of Eternia or something like that
I've
on
heard of it.
Facebook. Yeah. I'm sure you can find it there.
I
These guys are posted like there's no tomorrow.
So for those that aren't actually
did get you-
familiar, other
oh.
than outside the character names, Masters of the Universe consisted of 130 episodes divided up into 2 seasons of 65 episodes each, which is a lot of animation.
A lot, yeah.
Yeah, which they did very quickly, and I'm sure those that are listening to this, maybe they're like us, they're a little bit of geeky, but they watched the Toys That Made Us and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix, so we're not really covering any new
Damn,
ground.
stealing my thunder, man.
still need to
I was
watch
getting
that.
ready to drop some knowledge. I'm like, yeah, I know shit.
I don't have numbers of episodes or seasons for my shows. I could look it up though.
There were some really good episodes in there. I mean, even to watch today. I mean, some of it was really campy. It was
No way.
yeah, but it had really good morals to it.
Yeah, it did. And I do. Looking back now, I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because shit, with what's going on in the world today, I mean, it seems like there's a very big lack of morality.
There really is.
And the fact that they, made an attempt, says a lot.
Yeah. Well, the cool thing about the show, too, was that it wasn't just about He-Man. I know he was the main focal point. He still is the main focal point. However, there were a number of episodes that came out that focused on, I hate to call them the bit players, but they're not. The whole main cast, Teela, Man-at-Arms, I mean, you name it. They had episodes that were focused on them. I mean, Teela's quest, starting out episode 2 or 3, where she is trying to find out who her mother was, and it was focused on her.
Oh,
of course,
yeah.
of
I've
course,
seen that episode.
Oh, yeah. Of course, He-Man was in it, and, he helped her save the day, yada, 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 but she was the focus of that, which, I like it because then they had, even though the animation was used over and over and over because that was a cost-saving measure, the stories really weren't. I mean, 130 episodes of different stories. That's a lot.
So you got to think, this is a very short period of time.
Yes.
I mean, 130 episodes in less than 2 years.
And it was
less than 2
completely
years.
different than the comic books. The comic books were gritty. It was more barbaric. It was sort of like Conan the Barbarian meets, if you add a really big magical element to it. Thundar the Barbarian is a good example.
Yeah.
But it was where like old world and modern technology.
Thundar.
met.
Wow. I didn't expect that to come up tonight.
Yeah. Thundar. Well, of course, that's one of the influences of He-Man because that came out in the 60s or 70s.
It was, well before He-Man, yeah.
But yeah, that was one of the influences. That, Robert E. Howard's Conan, and a few others, which actually they were making a... I'm not, like I said, not saying anything new. They were making a Conan the Barbarian toy line. They end up using the shapes and the models of the...
Oh, yeah.
of that for He-Man and most of the others. That's why He-Man and everybody has the same shape.
Yeah.
Just a different haircut.
But it was cool. That was a great show. Yeah, massive influence on my life still. I still read the comics. I've mentioned that before in the podcast. With you. I talked about one of the modern ones where Orko, the comic relief that they created for the kids, that was not in the movie, not in the comics, or anything like that.
Oh, the movie was trash.
I know. Still watch it.
Yeah. Was that canon? Was that from the Canon group?
Canon.
Okay, well, I mean, the Canon group, from my perspective, is like the king of shitty ninja movies.
Yeah.
So,
pretty much.
So,
maybe you got another one?
Let's see.
one that I could.
Because I have 5.
One that I could jump on real quick that I mentioned earlier.
I could talk about any of the shows that I watched, but
was Rambo and the Force of Freedom. I really don't hear a lot of people talking about it, or even remembering it. I mean, it's very. So I have the entire collection.
Do you really?
Yes, it took a long time for me to get my hands on those.
I have a number of cartoon animation sites that has entire series of everything that you could think of on there.
Well, you let me know about some of those animation sites later, just not those.
Yeah.
No, but Rambo was huge back in the day.
Oh yeah. Well, there wasn't anything Sylvester Stallone didn't touch that didn't turn into gold back then.
In the 80s, yeah. Yeah, definitely. But the fact that, Reagan, I mean, he was in office at the time.
Oh, yeah.
He was super patriotic and
Reaganomics.
And Rambo was a lot what boys wanted to be.
He was a live action G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was like, I hate to use the word watered down, man, that's not the right word I'm looking for. He was like if you took G.I. Joe and spliced him with, I can't remember the character name, but the Charles Bronson Death Wish character, put them together, then you have John Rambo in the first Rambo movie.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's good stuff, man.
I'm just looking at a list here. And oh my gosh.
So good.
Eargasms.
Need a cigarette now.
Yeah. Candy cigarettes, at least.
I think I'll mention some that I watched when I was younger. I don't remember them too much, but I don't know. I'm wondering if you guys are going to know any of these shows that I'm going to mention.
Probably.
I watched.
Probably not have the same opinion that you do, but yeah.
Well, this is just. Let's see. This is just a list that I literally just Googled 90 TV shows to refresh my memory. But I watched a show called Little Bear.
No.
Actually, that's a no for me.
Yeah, that's a no for me too. I have no idea.
Let's see. I watched some of these I kind of recognize, but not because I watched it because I didn't want to watch it. I watched Blue's Clues.
Yeah, I did. Because,
oh shit!
Yeah, I watched Blue's Clues.
Sorry,
no, just because at the time my oldest nephews were at that age. No. Jake was that age to watch Blue's Clues, so I watched Blue's Clues.
So you want to bring up Barney next?
Oh dear Lord! I hate you, you hate me. We tied Barney to a tree.
Hold on. I watched Barney, and my second birthday party was themed Barney, but now. Off with that. No more. Anyways, I think I watched Pokemon, like the first, but I don't think I watched it until later. Pokemon.
I'm so glad that you didn't have any seizures from it.
Oh, the Wild Thornberrys. If you want to talk about like an animated show that was like, put a was positive about like animals really, like giving a crap.
I remember the
Wild
name,
Thornberries.
but I don't.
Wild Thornberries. Here's some trivia for you. Can you tell me who one of the names was? One of the voice actors was on there.
Nigel Thornberry. Oh wait, no.
Tim Curry.
Tim Curry.
Tim Curry. Wow,
Nigel
great
Thornberry.
Tim Curry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tim Curry. I don't know why I said it like that. Tim Curry.
Yeah, the show.
Tim Curry was the hottest transvestite ever. I'm sorry.
She has no clue, does she?
Sweet transvestite from transsexual Transylvania.
We're not talking about that weird ass movie.
Rocky,
That was on my
Rocky
list.
Horror
I'm just
Picture Show.
I'm just kidding.
Okay. Anyways, since you recognize that name, but
Yeah.
you don't, it follows a family of 4. It's a mom, dad, and 2 daughters. Like, one's a teenager, the other, I know she's like 12, 13 in the show. But the father, it's kind of funny. I wonder if they got inspiration from Steve Irwin, maybe, or just like, because Steve Irwin had a family and made a TV show about animals. But the dad, he has a nature show. The mom films it. So, they travel all over. They, go to filming locations. They'll go anywhere, really, like a desert, a forest. And the daughters have to come with them. So, they're homeschooled. And I forget, like, in, like, the first episode, obviously, I can't remember exactly because it's been so long. I'd love to rewatch this show from, like, the beginning. But the youngest daughter, Eliza, she saves a... Oh, it's a warthog. She saves a warthog. I think.
Bebop.
No.
So I have to think of this in a way that I can relate to.
It took me 2 seconds. No. She saved a warthog from being killed, and it turned out to be a shaman, and he gave her the gift of being able to talk with animals. So it's following, because it's funny, it follows the family through all these adventures, and she can talk to animals. So sometimes she uses that to, like, get animals to, like, do, like, when they're having a hard time finding some animals, she goes off and, like, plays in the wilderness, and she finds a monkey. She's like, oh, hey, can you, like, come over here and do some stuff? And the dad is like, oh my gosh, look, and they're, like, filming it. But it's funny, there's at least one movie that's really good, and then there's also a crossover movie with the Rugrats, which
Okay.
That was her jam too.
oh, and I
I
love
liked
the
Rugrats.
too.
I was a little out of age, really, to be watching the Rugrats, but they were good.
Yeah, it's funny. I really like the Rugrats movie where I guess it's the Thornberrys and the Rugrats.
Yeah.
The Rugrats, their families, they're trying to go on a cruise, but then there's a storm. No. They're on a cruise. Anyways, they get lost at sea. They end up on the islands
Where the Thornberrys
where the
are.
Thornberrys purposely went to film
show.
an episode, and then they
Now, she's going to Nickelodeon, so my mind's sitting here thinking, Double Dare. Wild and Crazy Kids.
Yes.
I didn't
Oh, I
really
love
get
that show
into
too. I love Wild and Crazy Kids.
Wild and Crazy Kids, that was my thing.
I didn't really get into the game shows
not
at that
Kenan and
time.
Kel.
Not for
No.
you. I watched.
Kel, I like you, man, but
Yeah.
Keenan, sorry.
I watched the Amanda Show. I sort of watched all that, but not very much. Like, I don't have
All that's getting a revival.
too many. Are they going to be is it the same actors, like, as adults,
No,
or is it?
No, it's going to be ran by Kenan Thompson. I think he's going to be one of the producers, so it's a showrunner.
Oh,
I don't
boy.
really remember what they did.
But that
on
doesn't mean
show.
he's going to be on
Oh,
it,
boy.
unless he's that French character, which I'm okay with.
I don't really remember what they did on that show.
Tell you what, since we're running a little long here, how about I just go? Since I had 5, I'm just going to run through these, maybe a quick sentence or two about
I'm
each.
sorry.
Oh no, we're good.
Can I just at the end? How about we just list a bunch of shows that we watched?
Married with Children.
No.
Oh,
I mean,
man,
I
I was
know-
like
I
not
know,
allowed
but I
to
don't
watch
know.
that.
Yeah, okay. The funny thing is that's one of the things I bonded with my dad about. First 2 seasons, anyway, before they started really finding their foothold. My dad thought it was hilarious, and then he said it just started getting weird. But I mean, it was tame by today's standards. It was kind of like breaking down the atypical family sitcom. You had crass, controversial, and funny scenes. I mean, look, some of the main elements of the show was the nudie bar, Psycho Dad, the fake puppet used for when, like, Bud was thrown out of the second-story window, the Dodge vehicle that they had, Al and Peggy's non-existent sex life, Bud's Grandmaster B persona, and Kelly just being hot but dumb. It was great.
She's still half of that.
Yeah, and that lasted for 10 seasons, too.
Well, she's still hot. That's what I meant. I didn't mean dumb.
I wasn't sure, actually.
10 seasons for that show, too. Isn't that crazy? The Wonder Years.
Nope.
Wow.
I grew up on
Wow.
The Wonder Years. That went from 88 to 93. 5 seasons. 5 short seasons. Couldn't believe that. But I mean,
It took Kevin an awful long time to close the deal on that shit.
it was the quintessential nostalgic show because it didn't take place in the 80s or the 90s. It took place in the 60s during the Vietnam War. So you had
It was like a coming of age.
It was very coming of age. It can be hokey at times, like an after-school special, but I mean, sometimes it really hit.
A lot of shit like that happened in the 80s.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, no way. It was
but
a
it was
little
great. But you can relate to the show, like the elder siblings picking on the younger siblings, like Kevin, his brother did to him. Can't remember the character's name. Oh my gosh. Anyway, but it's like I remember my late brother picking on me, growing up, like him and his best friend were playing basketball, and me being a little kid wanting attention, I kept getting in the way. So at our house in the driveway, we had a basketball goal right off the side of the driveway, but we still had cars parked. Well, when you take cars that are still
like
parked
a great
there,
combination.
yeah, it was. And then a kid that kept getting in the way, they weren't getting much basketball done. So what they did is they took the best of both worlds. They popped the trunk, threw me in it, and
Yeah, they put him in the
put me in the trunk just to get me out of the way. But it's like, at the time, of course, I was mad, upset, and yeah. But looking back on it, I can laugh, and it's just...
You can't bring up the Wonder Years to me and then not allow me to talk about the sister and the mother.
Yeah.
Both blonde
the same
bombshells.
age.
Yeah.
Yeah. The best friend that, in later years, everybody kept saying that he was Marilyn Manson.
No, yeah.
Which he was not. No. But, you can relate a lot with him, too, though, because that character was like the best friend that shaped your life. You shared everything with. And I don't care who you are inhuman. If you ever watch that show and you don't get the chills the very first time Kevin puts his coat on Winnie.
If you say so.
Seriously.
Anyways.
It had a lot of build up to that. So, yeah. Wonder Years.
I think I was just thinking, I mean, in the future, we could do, like, part 2. Not that we're going to necessarily call this part 1.
No,
but
we'll just keep it at that.
I just want to mention that I watched Kim Possible because I feel... like
I feel greedy now that I said I wanted my one to really dig into.
Well, no, I mean, but I'd like to... Well,
remember the night we went to Dublin's? It was on Halloween, and
that girl was dressed as Kim Possible,
and she was very thrilled that actually one person knew who she was dressed up as, and that was you.
I literally told her that she was probably the closest I'd ever get to like meeting a face character, like an actual like employee of a Disney park dressed as Kim Possible. So I was like, oh my gosh! Like I saw her, I was just like freaking out.
That was also the same night you got very, very drunk and kept me awake because you wouldn't stop talking. That was not. I don't mean that in a negative way.
In the car, not like at home. But.
Yeah, I was having trouble staying awake on the drive home, and she just kept on talking, and it kept me awake.
I've only been to Dublin's twice.
Yeah,
and both of those times is the drunkest I've ever gotten anywhere.
Successful bar.
I guess so, because I've had drinks, at home and other places, but. The drunkest I've ever been.
Tell you what, here's a guilty pleasure that actually made the list, and it's the last one that I've got.
Okay, I just wanted to talk.
And it's actually this is actually a combination of 2 shows, and I'm probably going to get an odd look from maybe Brad. Anyway.
So this is
maybe not if Nikki was here tonight. Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel.
Yeah, that was more her thing. I mean, I wasn't that into it, but
we've been watching Buffy.
It was hugely popular.
It was hugely popular.
I want to get
even
back
though it didn't have a long
Buffy.
run.
Yeah.
I love Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yeah.
You just love hot women. Okay. We just established that from every...
And?
I'm married to one.
I know, but every show you're like, oh, and that sister, that mom.
It's a guy thing.
Okay.
Yeah. But no, it was my fondest memories were getting together with a lot of my friends, and we would just watch the show together. Both shows. And what was great about it was...
Angel was kind of like a spinoff.
It
right?
was. Angel was a spinoff with better writers. So, no, I'm serious. Joss Whedon had left Buffy to some new writers at the end of season 3 and took Angel into a new show, and he was the showrunner on Angel and focused on that. So as Buffy's writing changed a little bit, the tone changed a little bit, Angel started strong and remained strong through the run of the show. It was an amazing show. And the thing with Angel was, even though it lasted 5 seasons, Buffy lasted 6.
It's not too bad for either.
Angel is pretty much what happens when the hero joins the enemy in order to keep an eye and fight the enemy. Like one of the...
So is this... Okay, I want to finish watching Buffy with you. I feel like we got pretty far. But is Angel like before, during, or after he's been with her?
After.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like she's...
So they...
Is it like she got old and died, or just...
No. Just like most things, most dramas, they don't last.
Okay.
And...
Okay, but by this time he's like, I don't want to be a bad vampire. So now he's
right.
Okay.
He's still a vampire without a soul.
Well,
so he goes to still try to make amends for
his past.
So he goes to L.A. and he starts his own private investigation service, and then he eventually joins up with the main bad guys called Wolfram and Hart, which is Wolf, Ram, Hart, which are the 3 main elements of Satanism. So he actually goes to work for that company that he spent seasons fighting to try to work his way on the inside and take it down. But then he gets a little lax, a little corrupt, and the actor actually starts putting on weight, which I've never seen a vampire put on weight before.
We need a bigger leather jacket.
Yeah.
Now, was the Angel character, did that have anything to do with the movie?
No.
Because I did enjoy the movie.
The movie itself was something standalone that he didn't expect to make a Joss Whedon did not expect to make a TV series out of. It was just supposed to be a one and done type of deal.
Surprise! People like handsome characters.
Hey, Christy Swanson is gorgeous.
Angel? Are you talking about Angel?
Oh, David.
I can usually see when a guy's like man pretty or handsome, but I don't see that for him.
Well,
I don't.
It wasn't necessarily his looks. It was his.
I think he's handsome. I actually watched him.
I didn't think he was ugly, but
no, it was his personality. It was his.
I watched him in Bones before I ever watched Buffy, so it was funny watching him younger but still kind of.
He was back down to his angel weight when Bones started up.
I really liked him as Bones, or as
well. He put on 35 pounds of dad weight.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, I did too.
But the main point of Buffy was it was a mishmash of different types of genres of television shows. You had the teen, high school, comedy, horror,
a little bit of gore,
romance, action, drama, and it was actually one of the first TV shows to actually have the idea of having a cohesive season. As in, you start with an idea of the first episode, and you have elements of the stuff going on until the last episode.
I like when a show does that.
That was the first time they'd ever done that. It was more, everything else was sort of sitcoms. Whatever happened in this episode may last one more episode as a part 2, but that was it. It never tied in together.
Yeah.
This one did. This was the first one to have that formula. So if you think about the TV shows that are out today, the influence of that show and Angel of that show of changing television, just completely changing it. Let's see.
Right. I just wanted to mention. Can I talk?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
My turn.
I was just talking about why it was influential.
I know. But you got you had to just go and get all professional. Anyways, I would say a good influential show. Let me just say, Disney Channel. The shows that are on now, they're following this weird formula. Mm-hmm. I see a lot of more recent kid shows, animated or live action. It's kind of like bright colors, loud talking, overacting. We're really excited about everything.
Oh, that shit's been going on forever.
I know.
Ever since Pokemon started giving people seizures, it's like all the other animated shows had to catch up with it.
I'm not saying that doesn't exist since animation. But it's everything is like that now. It's not just littler kid shows. It's stuff that's you think is supposed to be targeting slightly older kids, and it's still kind of wow, we're so excited. Blah, blah.
Yeah.
But a show I watched on Disney Channel, among many of them, Lizzie McGuire, Kim Possible, but That's So Raven. Do you guys know what that is at all?
Starring Raven Simone.
I know who it is.
Yeah.
Know who it is. That show, I would say, like, we need more shows like that because it actually covered, like, it literally covered, like, racism. Mm-hmm. It covered, like, unhealthy eating of America. It covered, Raven was really into designing clothes.
We had a show like that, too. It was called Roseanne.
But Steven Seagal really should have watched that show.
Babe.
Sorry.
Anyways, but there was another episode where she like entered a contest to get her design in like an actual runway show to be worn by like an actual model.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. And she won. So, but the thing was, they put her, like, Raven was on the magazine being like, I'm the winner. But they had photoshopped her body to be like model skinny, and that episode kind of followed like, well, why isn't this body type good enough? Why is tall and model thin the only good thing? Why did you have to change me? Why, like, you like my design, why don't you like my body? You know, that kind of thing. And you know, I'd say That's the Raven kind of had like the whole, I don't know how many seasons it had, but it was all like cohesive and together. But each episode was kind of its own thing, and not every episode had some like serious, like super deep like message that was like
a lot of girls that felt, you know, really
like,
connected with that show.
Yeah. And like Raven, the one about racism is she was trying to get a job at this clothing store that she like actually really liked, and you know, she was being interviewed along with this white girl, and you know, the manager was like, okay, like fold sweaters, do this, blah blah blah. They were doing the exact same thing. And one of the tests was like picking an outfit for a customer. Well, the white girl, like, she had done fine on everything else, but the white girl picked this like ridiculous outfit for this girl. And Raven, she picked like a beautiful outfit. Like the customers loved it, bought it, whatever, blah blah blah. And then the manager was like, okay, I'll let you guys know, blah blah blah. And also, if you don't know, Raven's psychic, so she can see visions of like the nearish future. So
I wasn't aware of that, but
yeah, I forgot. That was like one of the main points. But
yeah, I didn't know that.
So like Raven is like, you know, waiting on the, you know, see if she got it or not, and then she has a vision, and she has a vision of the manager being like, I don't hire black people, and she's like, whoa. So she gets her friend Chelsea to like go undercover at this store. I think probably wearing, I think it's like a hat or something, has a camera to see if she can like get her to say that, to see if it's like real. And she's, you know, she says it to her, and so they kind of basically end up like taking her down. I don't remember if Raven actually ended up working at the store, but like they take the manager down for being racist, even though they don't say racism.
Oh, that shit happens every day now.
I know, but
yeah.
to be in a kid's show, to be in a kid's show, you know, like, and there wasn't, you know, like a black, you know, it followed her. Yeah. You know, she was black. One of her best friends was a black male, and then the other was like a ditzy redhead. But you know, there's plenty of like, you know, sillier things, right, or kind of, you know, like the three like mean girls always like kind of dressed coordinating colors and stuff, you know. But I mean, I feel like as far as being influential and something that we should bring back into any network, not necessarily just Disney.
Yeah, definitely.
But like,
I'd love to see some more morality with
yeah, like give me a
it's just like we were talking about earlier with Masters of the Universe.
Like,
they had the
let me be entertained, but also like teach me something besides just excitement and colors. Like, I get it, that stuff's cool, but like, can I have a plot, please, that matters at the end of the episode? And it also follows her through some like love interest, and like it actually like some of it got really deep and like really like made you feel something beyond just like woo.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but did the actress, what's her name, Simone?
Raven
Simone. Didn't she kind of push for that kind of thing? Mm-hmm. So
probably
she herself was, you know, trying to
she was on the Cosby
put positive.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I know that. Yeah. Hope she made it out of that okay.
She was also
I think she made it out okay, but I don't know about many of the others on the show.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, there's a little bit, but I mean, the show itself, you know.
No, that's good.
Regardless of where they are now.
Yeah, we read, even though I spent a lot of time in the dark place in my own head, I really do think that this world could really use more influential morality type of influences.
Yeah, you can be entertaining, and not every single episode and every single second has to be some deep thing.
Well, no, well, especially if it's Disney, because 9 times out of 10, you're going to, throughout the episode, you're going to have some of the Disney sitcom craziness.
Yeah,
the
I mean, and that's fine, but give me something more.
Yeah,
well,
that's why Girl Meets World was actually a really good show. I mean, it wasn't Boy Meets World by any means, and I did not mention Boy Meets World just because I want to dedicate one whole episode to that.
Yeah, we could. I could talk about that too.
Well, shit, I could do that with my my show that I'd like to talk about.
Coming soon, Boy Meets World.
Yeah, but.
Actually, I'm perfectly fine not mentioning it and doing a whole episode on it.
But Girl Meets World was they had some of that from the Disney Channel.
That's probably one of the last ones, honestly.
But yeah, it was a very, very deep show because he still had all this backstory from the original Boy Meets World.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but then not have it.
I mean, you do have the morality issue in it. It's like, what did you learn in this episode type thing.
Yeah. Yep. Why is she really crying? Good. What's happening? How do we make it better?
PSA.
Yeah, it had a very good, strong PSA.
Yeah. I didn't. I don't
see that shit
show
anymore.
No, you don't.
I'd say
it's because too many people are afraid of offending somebody else by saying you have to be moral, and then you're going to get somebody offended saying, "Are you judging me? Are you saying that I'm not moral?"
I just want colors and loud sounds.
I remember the crying Indian and yeah.
I remember one of the last. I think. When I started kind of coming off of Disney Channel, not Disney, but Disney Channel, one of the last shows that I watched, I'd love to finish the series, just to say I did, but Sunny with a Chance, you probably have
I thought she was going to say It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I was like, where are you getting the morality from that?
Sunny with a Chance. I remember that name, but I don't remember the show.
I remember that name, but I don't remember the show.
How many kids were there? There was four kids, and the youngest was a baby, so it's follows from teenager to baby, and then there's, I forget what the mom does. I think she's a nurse, but then the dad's an exterminator, and there's plenty of silly stuff.
Yeah.
But in when I was kind of slowly moving from my parents' house to yours, that was one of the shows that showed a lesbian couple. And that was groundbreaking. People either really hated it or were hell yeah, Sunny with a Chance, show a lesbian couple.
Yeah.
But I feel that was, maybe a tad bit goofier, but there was also still more realistic stuff to it, and a little more hey, here's a lesson. Maybe not every episode is a lesson, but here's the season finale or the mid-season thing. Here's something teachable that isn't just stupid.
And I guess that would be the point of this whole show now. It's just that these shows, we feel like we're, even though we have a lot of humor on this show and we joke about a lot of things.
You're welcome.
Well, don't get it twisted. I watched plenty of shows that were just purely just dumb and fun.
Oh, no, it's not that. It's just
but,
well, I mean, we did mention Beavis and Butthead.
I watched a show called Ed, Ed, and Eddie, and I mean, there might have been a couple morality things in there, but it was also just a weird.
Two Stupid Dogs, Ren and Stimpy. Okay.
I watched Cat Dog. And
Beavis and Butthead. Come on.
I can't remember any morality lesson from Cat Dog, but.
No. But I guess that's the point of this whole show is that these shows are, since we feel like even though we use a lot of humor on the show, we let morality rule us, which is good. I know it doesn't seem like it comes across with some of the humor we use, but I mean, on a serious tone, I feel like I'm a good uncle to my nephews. I feel like Kat's a good aunt to my nephew.
We gotta try, don't we?
And Brad's a good father. Good husband.
Oh shit, yeah.
And there you go. So I mean, and if it wasn't for, I feel like if it wasn't for some of these shows, not just our parental influence, but we spent a lot of time growing up. We were the TV generation, so we would have a lot of influence on us from those shows. And I feel like, thanks to those influences and the shows that actually did have a moral backbone to it, I think that's kind of shaped who we are, and that's what we need.
Maybe why we look the way we look, because we were also the generation of TV dinner.
Yeah.
Hey, my mom cooked.
Amen.
I actually don't rarely remember eating that many TV dinners.
Oh no, we just ate TV. We ate dinner in front of the TV.
Well, yeah, I did.
Lunchables.
Lunchables, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I had Lunchables at Girl Scout camp.
Or what's that, Kid Cuisine?
oh yeah, Kid Cuisine. They still have
I don't
those.
remember
Yeah,
if
they
I
still
ever
do
ate
those.
one of those. I mean, maybe, but I honestly don't.
But I guess with that, we'll kind of bring the show down to a close. Since
Do we need to... Sorry, you can edit this. Do we need to do a second plug? Or,
Yeah, we can do a plug. The cool thing about doing
And
a
then-
plug instead of an ad is we can put that in at any time. So, Vanity Salon, which is where Deadpan Studio is located. If I probably shouldn't have put that address out there, but I don't care.
You know what?
I mean, it's-
edit it out.
Yeah. Anyway, it's open.
Find us.
Yeah, they'll find us. You can check out Vanity Salon on its Facebook page. It's located in Glasgow, Kentucky. They're open on Wednesday through Saturday. Just a lot of times it's by appointment. They do accept walk-ins most days, but it's better off for you to make an appointment by calling 270-629-4779, and they'll be able to take care of all your hair care needs.
Boom.
Hell yeah.
Done. I did better that time.
Get yourself...
Especially perms.
Come get yourself beautified, ladies.
Smelled like a perm when we first
I know.
got
I was like, it literally smelled like a perm when we walked in. So
All right, to cover some old ground here, we again, if you would like to reach us, you can reach us on Facebook, Twitter, or the emails. SOKY Nostalgia, Deadpan Studio 18. If you email us, those are at gmail.com. If you would like to check out the website, please do. We've got some really cool information on there about all of us, especially Brad's bio. I love it. I like Kat's bio.
thank you.
Deadpan-studio.com. You can stream the episodes, learn more about us, check out the show notes, and if we have any announcements, we can put some on there. We'll also put it out on social media. You can also stream us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, TuneIn, and Spotify.
Hell yeah.
All the major ones. We are out there as of this evening. Boom! So by the time you hear this, you would have already found that out. Anyway.
I mean, hopefully they've listened.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. But anyway, with that, that is another episode of SOKY Nostalgia.
I do want to add one more thing.
Yes,
real
sir.
quick. I know we got to wrap this up. I want to give the audience, maybe give them a little blue balls. Let it hang. Let it come back. What are we going to talk about later? What did you have some things that we kind of had to skip over because we got going a little too long?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You want to give a little tease?
No, you go ahead.
Yeah. Just a little tease.
Just put a little nose in it.
The f- is happening?
There's a show that I really wanted to talk about, and we didn't get to it. But like I said, I think we can get a whole entire episode on this.
Mm-hmm.
But that 70s show,
Yes.
a chuckle because we like?
Yes.
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 And well, I mean, duh, okay. One of the, and I wanted to kind of hit this for just a quick sec. It's not exactly on topic, but it was a movie that influenced me. Probably more so than that 70s show, but it was kind of like a trickle-down effect. Jerry Maguire. Why the hell would a rom-com, be influential, to a man? Find out next time.
Explore that.
So,
Yeah.
I think that's maybe a couple things.
we can do another episode on movies that influenced us too.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. Cool.
hopefully we can work that in somehow so it doesn't
Yeah.
sound so stupid. But
Oh, no, we're good. I think they're following along. So,
Yeah.
wait a minute. I think
All
a couple of
five-
listeners have probably fallen asleep by this time.
All 5 of our
No,
followers, 3 of them are still
Yeah.
asleep.
Hey,
They're
honestly,
listening.
that's not necessarily a bad thing. I listen to podcasts as I go to sleep. So, anyway, again, find us on the social media. Catch us on the streaming services. That'll be it for us this evening.
Visit our website.
Yes, we have new shows coming. Check them out. I am one of your hosts, Matt.
Sir Bradley.
And I am Kat.
We'll see y'all next time.